Back on Get Up with a Flashback Friday. What if I told you that once upon a time the Cowboys and the Bills used to make the Super Bowl? Yep, it happened. In 1994, the Cowboys beat the Bills in Super Bowl 28, their second straight year in which they did it. This one was down in Atlanta. Emmitt Smith was Super Bowl MVP, 132 yards and a pair of touchdowns. On the losing side, it marked Buffalo's fourth consecutive Super Bowl loss. And as you know, they have not made the big game since. I love this old primetime music, by the way. I want TJ and Berman on the call here. It's unbelievable. This is it. Cowboys beat the Bills Super Bowl, but now we go to this year's Super Bowl, Super Bowl 60. I'm going to give you the Schrager 5. The 5 best personal stories of this Super Bowl. We start off with number 5, Cooper Kupp. Think about Cooper Kupp's story. Triple Crown winner, Super Bowl MVP, and the Rams say, we're good. We're going to bring in Devontae Adams and pay him more. You can go find work elsewhere. Cooper Kupp ends up with a division rival going home to the state of Washington, plays for the Seahawks, beats the Rams, and now the Super Bowl MVP of Super Bowl 56 can get a chance to win another ring with the rivals of his former team. Number 4, how about the big fella? Number 0, DeMarcus Lawrence. This guy called his Super Bowl shot back in March after signing in Seattle, saying, I'm not going to win it in Dallas. I want to win it elsewhere. And he's a game away. 10 years as a Cowboys, no huge games, no conference championships. He is a win away from being one of the great offseason additions on a Super Bowl champion. Number 3, how about Drake Maye? Presumptive MVP contender here. Is he going to win it? Is he going to be the runner-up? I'll tell you what, he'd rather be playing in the Super Bowl than worrying about awards. And he is one win away from getting a Lombardi trophy. Drake Maye, one of the great sophomore seasons we've ever seen in NFL history, looking to join Tom Brady as a fellow second-year quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Number 2, how about this guy? Transformation of a 4-win team to a Super Bowl contender and a team that is one win away from winning a Lombardi. Think about Vrabel's story. Obviously won a ton as a player. Was fired by the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans fired this guy. 2 years later, he's hoisting the AFC Championship trophy. And number 1, I don't know how you could top this story. It's the stuff that storybooks are written about. If you were to write a Hollywood movie, it might not even be realistic enough because of how wild his path has been. Sam Darnold, former 3rd overall pick in the biggest media market in the world, has played for 4 other teams, and he's only 28 years old. And now, after being cast aside by Minnesota a year ago, Sam Darnold is one more win away from being a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Still an amazing story to talk about, guys. And we're going to talk about it a bunch next week. I go to you, Harry Douglas, our offensive player. Sam Darnold's story, when you look at it, what do you make of it as a former player yourself?
It tells us all that coaching matters. And it's not about going number 1 overall. It's not about going top 10 overall. It's about what's the best fit for you as a player and where can you go to be developed as a player and learn. Like we've seen Sam Darnold when he went to San Francisco and was a backup quarterback, was able to learn and understand that system under Kyle Shanahan while Clint Kubiak was there as well. And then going to Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota and understanding that system and that system being tailored towards his skill set. And then now in now in Seattle, back joining with Clint Kubiak, Sam Darnold is writing his own story. It also tells us that just because you face adversity and things aren't how you want them to be early on, that they can't be great at some juncture in your life.
Bart, you were in New York when they drafted him,
Yeah, correct.
And you were there for all the ghost talk and the mono and all the rest. Sam Darnold will win away from a Super Bowl championship and likely, if they win, a Super Bowl MVP award. Your thoughts?
I mean, I thought he always handled the adversity that he was faced with in New York. I thought he always was a great representative. I thought he always spoke with great professionalism. It's just a story that tells you that environments matter. And environments matter because you need to be in a right environment, especially when you're going to have a young quarterback. That's why everybody was concerned about Dante Moore, because when you're young, you need time to develop. Now, Harry understands because I'm an undrafted free agent, but you're a 3rd-round draft pick, right? We understand that most players don't really figure it out to their 3rd or 4th year, right? But what happens is non-quarterbacks get the opportunity to fail in silence. when you're a quarterback, you fell in front of everybody, right? Because the wins and losses go on your record. Everybody's counting your mistakes and the things that where you come up short from, right? What this is a story about is just a guy that stayed persistent and never lost belief in himself, right? And always believed, and every step was part of it. And sometimes you can't connect the dots looking forward. You only can connect them looking backwards, right? And he was able to go there, and he was able to get out of the spotlight, which was New York, and be able to develop and learn in silence, right? And listen, he's not the first to ever do it. Baker Mayfield did it, and other guys did it. Steve Young is probably the biggest example.
Doug Williams. I mean, there's guys who have had opportunities to go to different places. Jim Plunkett, I think of several of them. But this one, his fifth team by the age of 28.
15 in 8 years.
That's unbelievable. Guys, Super Bowl's next week, but let's give you 3 things that you should know. Start off here. This one stunk. Skier Lindsey Vonn crashed in a downhill race this morning and had to be airlifted to the hospital. Vonn, who has faced multiple crashes and devastating injuries throughout her career, is competing with a robot-assisted partial knee replacement right now. She was set to compete in the Olympics next week. We will have to keep an eye on this story. That is a major bummer to start the morning. Brooks Koepka returned to the PGA Tour after 4 seasons on Live Golf. He shot 1 over par and birdied his final hole of the day. Meanwhile, Justin Rose leads the tournament at 10 under as he chases his second Farmers Insurance Open title. And then, if you're watching us on the Deuce, you know that over there in ESPN1, there's another tennis match because this one went so long. In the tennis world, Carlos Alcaraz defeated Alexander Zverev to advance to the Australian Open final for the first time in his career. The match, guys, took 5 hours and 27 minutes in 100-degree heat. The 3rd longest men's match in Australian Open history. Then you got the Women's Championship, and that starts at 3:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and the app. Sabalenka has reached her 4th consecutive Australian Open final and will take on Rybakina. Coverage begins at 3 a.m. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, how about our guy Chris Fowler? Chris Fowler, who was calling the college football championship last week, is in Australia now. How about Fowler getting in the work, guys?
I see
This
him.
is some double barbell deadlifts, no days off. Right now, over on ESPN, he is calling the match. But in between, he's not sightseeing or eating something down there, some shrimp on the Barbie or whatever you want to eat down in Australia.
Eating that bison out there, man.
He's working.
Eating that ostrich.
Bart, your thoughts on Fowler?
I mean, that's impressive right there. Listen, I would love to see him and Hockley in a arm wrestling match.
That's it, Hockley. Chris, we love your work. Let's get up to the Ravens story, though, because that's the next one. The Ravens introduced Jesse Minter yesterday as their head coach, but we still don't have an offensive coordinator to work with Lamar. What can Minter do to get Lamar over the hump?